Hey, what's up? I am Wicked.com exclusive contract star Jessica Drake, and I invited you to ask me anything. And you know what? You did. You did a great job, and I'm going to try my best to get through all of your questions. Thank you for submitting so many good ones. All right, let's get started. Has Axel Braun asked to be cast in a role in his upcoming Batman parody? I think you may mean, has he asked me to be in his upcoming Batman parody? And I know he's announced Black Widow, and there is a part for me in Black Widow. I don't want to give too much away because that's his business. He hates it when we do that. So, yes, it's coming. Be patient. Will you shoot new scenes of your episodic series, Jessica's Fantasies, anytime soon? Oh, that is a great question. I'm going to do my best to answer this. We are still very much in the middle of a pandemic. And as much as I miss sex and group sex and anal sex and sex clubs and sex parties and all the things, I am not willing to die for dick. So Jessica's Fantasies was put on hiatus. I know that things are starting to get a little bit better, and I think that we as an industry are getting the hang of COVID testing a little bit more. And also, yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting closer to being ready to shoot. I definitely plan on doing more Jessica's Fantasies. It's something that I imagined when I started directing and producing it, and having lots of sex in it. It's something that I imagined would go on for a long time. So to only be able to shoot a few episodes before the pandemic started was really heartbreaking. Hello, Jessica. Do you think Wicked will do any VR scenes, and will I star in them? So right now, Gamma and Wicked, we don't have any plans to do any VR scenes, but trust if we did, I would star in them. I'm definitely open to it. Okay, this is, y'all want to know a lot about when I'm shooting. Have you decided when you'll film your first scene back since the production shut down? You know, some folks are still shut down. I mean, for the most part, we are, right? I'm only doing solo stuff, and I mean, I love having sex with myself, but I'm really ready to have sex with other people. But no, I have not yet decided exactly when that first film back is going to be. But I am starting to figure out how logistically to make it all make sense and how to make that happen, not just for me, but for all of you as well, because I know y'all are waiting. Will you be filming any non-condom scene now that Wicked dropped their condom mandate? The short answer is no. I will not be doing any scenes without condoms. And I'm really grateful for all of you who understand and respect my position on this. I'm going to share with you my reason, not that I feel as if I've ever owed anyone a reason for the choices that I've made with my body over the years, but I have been through in this industry in almost 20 years. I have been through two situations where, in one of the situations, I was exposed to HIV, and in the other situation, I was very, very nearly exposed to HIV. Another day, and I would have worked with a performer. I mean, it was scheduled, who turned out to be HIV positive. So I think that when you look at it from a personal safety standpoint, And when you really have all the information to make an informed decision, I think it's really important that performers can do that for themselves. So for me personally, I find peace of mind and comfort in having my scene partners use condoms. Um, I also have sex that is deemed higher risk, like anal sex and DPs and like things that really stretch me out. And for me, that's just the level of protection that I'm comfortable with. I am glad though that Wicked is giving the performers the choice because, I mean, look, obviously, y'all know there are performers that choose not to work with condoms. And there are also performers who feel as if they want to use a condom, they're not going to get hired. And I have a big problem with that, right? Because when I first got into the industry and made the decision to use condoms, people were like, oh, you're never going to get work. Well, I think I've proven them wrong. So, anyway, back to the short answer, no, and thank you for respecting me. You have, aw, this is so sweet. You've inspired so many with your sex positivity, charity work, education, and movies. What are some of your sources of inspiration? You know, I am inspired by the people in this industry who came before me, who made it possible for me to be all the things that I am today. And when I got into the industry, I never just wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be a performer, a writer, a director, a producer. 10 years in, I decided I wanted to be a certified sex educator. Now I'm also working very closely with Wicked Sensual Care as their resident sex educator and also a brand strategist for them. So I always wanted to do so much more. So I always looked to the people who were doing more. And there are just so many of them. I mean, I chose people like Suze Randall, the famous photographer. I looked at directors in the past that had done really revolutionary work for their time. I looked at company owners. I looked at strong women within the industry. I looked at my idols who were in the industry back then. I also took into account like everything that brought us here. So I tried to trust in the process and learn from not just others' mistakes, but my mistakes as well. And I have always been a very big source of inspiration to myself because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And also, my biggest competition has always been myself. I've never competed with another performer directly. I've always just tried to do the best that I could possibly do for myself in that moment. And prior to the pandemic, it's always been my goal, you know, when I look back on the year past and I set goals for the new year to come, I always say, what can I do this year that outdoes anything that I did last year? And this past year, and now moving into this new year, are really the only times where I can't say that I've outdone myself from previous years. And it's hard. I know that we're all in the same situation, right? Like this global pandemic is everyone's situation. And I'm grateful to be here. And I've survived it so far. So so yeah, I mean that's I'm gonna stick to that for right now. And in the upcoming years when it's easier to draw inspiration from myself and compete with myself, I'm gonna keep on doing that. Would you ever let some of your fans on set of your movie? So we have done this before, actually. Wicked has done contests in the past when we used to do super, super, like massive, big budget movies in crazy mainstream locations where we offered fans the opportunity to enter a contest. And the winners were flown to LA and they were taken on the set of a movie. And inevitably, what happens is fans are generally surprised that it's run on a schedule, that we have dialogue, that we rehearse, you know. And I mean, I know they love watching the sex, so it is something that I would be open to doing again. But first, we have to get the pandemic situation sorted, and then I have to start having sex on camera again. So we have a ways to go. But yeah, totally. I'd definitely be open to it. Hmm. Okay. There are a lot of questions from one of my favorite members. Now that Wicked is under the Gamma umbrella, will the focus remain on feature style projects, or will the content focus shift? That is a fantastic question, and I think we're going to have to wait and see. The plan is, as we begin to resume production, we will continue to shoot the higher budget, amazing quality, plot, story driven features that Wicked is known and loved for. So I am really looking forward to it. Is Wicked still looking to bring on a Black contract performer? So I wish we were signing more contract performers right now. We only have one right here. And the pandemic has just thrown everything so far off. We didn't expect to be in this position that we're in right now with only one contract performer and no movies being shot. So absolutely, when we start looking for contract performers again, which is something I really, really, really want to do, because I enjoy having contract sisters and possibly contract brothers too. So yes, definitely. And in the meantime, yes, I think that having real inclusivity and diversity is really important. And I think y'all know that. Will Wicked bring on any additional contract directors outside of Axel now that they're under Gamma? Will you continue to direct? So for right now, the first year, pandemic, we don't know what the fuck is going on. It is just Axel and I. I will continue to direct. My guide to Wicked sex movies are not on wicked.com anymore. Those are mine, and those are most likely going to be distributed through Wicked Sensual Care. So stay tuned for more information on that. There are a few Guide to Wicked Sex educational movies in the works as we speak. There was a lot of frustration from some Black performers due to the results of the AVN Awards this year. Some felt that AVN turned a deaf ear to all the conversations over the summer. Do you think the awards reflected a shift in racial bias in the industry, or do you think not much changed? So I am going to answer this from a personal standpoint. And since we are on wicked.com right now, just know that I expand on this on a regular basis on all of my social media platforms. I think, and rightfully so, that there are many Black performers who were on those roundtable discussions who do not feel as if they were seen or heard. And as an industry, we have a lot of work to do. And I think that it is really important to continue to do the work. Not just when it's trendy. And I think it's also really important to hold people accountable. So I will just say that we have a long way to go in this industry. Ooh, how's the book coming along? Yeah, so some of you may not know, but about 3 years ago, I started to write a memoir. And last year, the pandemic, and it was my goal to finish my book in 2020. I don't think I wrote a page of my book in 2020. Um, I would say it's probably about a little over halfway done, and I am starting to feel kind of creative, and I do feel like I might start getting back to it. I'll keep y'all posted. As a longtime fan of Wicked, I've found years of comfort with Wicked's films because Wicked has always been more about telling interesting stories that have sex in them than telling stories about sex. For me, that's what the magic of Wicked is built on. We've all got stories that speak to us, and seeing sex interspersed within those stories has always made the fantasy come to vibrant life for me. I've watched other Gamma projects, and while some of them are absolutely in line with the philosophy, a lot of them seem to be based on the act of sex. I'm not saying that's bad, but I have to admit I'm scared that Wicked will move away from what made it magical to fit the Gamma brand. I guess my question is, should I be worried about that or am I being silly? Anyway, thank you so much for everything. It's a really good question. I think a lot of people are curious about that. And I wish that we didn't kick off this deal, this merger, this acquisition, as a pandemic was happening. I hear that there are really awesome things in the future. And I am sure that Gamma will be able to uphold the amazing Wicked brand and our way to tell amazing stories with really awesome characters and fantastic locations and plot pertinent sex, like really awesome feature movies. And I'm also still looking forward to our really high end all sex movies too. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I hear there might be a showcase in the works. It's mine. So let's look forward to some really big stuff, you know? I think this first year will be definitely a period where we're just figuring stuff out and doing the best we can in a pandemic. But I have really high hopes for next year. Hi JD, I'm worried without Brad Armstrong's films there are major highlights missing in Wicked Pictures' future output. Also, his series is unfinished. Can you tell us about that? I heard Quasar is not planning any more movies with Wicked. Who else besides Axel Braun is going to direct, especially the big highlight movies? Well, like I said before, for the time being, it's just Axel and I. But as things start to open up and as we go back to production as we know it, we are definitely looking to add more directors. What else? Oh, do you think that performer exclusive contracts are mostly dead with the rise of OnlyFans and sex workers going online mostly independent? Well, I'm not going to mention any other company names, but there are a lot of companies putting performers under contract. And I think that if OnlyFans has taught companies something, it is how incredibly valuable performers really are. Because OnlyFans has put a lot of control in the hands of performers who can now shoot exactly what they want to shoot with exactly who they want to shoot it. And while for me, yeah, it's a learning curve and it takes a lot of effort. And I love working with a creative team and I like creative collaborations. I definitely think that studios have noticed how valuable performers are. So we're seeing this big trend of studios putting performers under contract, both male and female performers under contract. They're also contracting directors. So, I mean, it's what Wicked has done forever. And now other people are definitely jumping on board. So, I think we will see more contract performers here. I mean, not here like my bed, but I mean, yes, also here my bed. But what is your favorite project or scene you have ever done? I'm really hard pressed to have a favorite project or scene. One of the reasons that I signed with Wicked is because I wanted to be proud of every project that I did, and I really am. If I had to pick a few, it would be Fallen 1, Fallen 2, any movie I ever did with Asa Akira. Definitely my showcase, Jessica Drake is Wicked. Some of the more recent ones that I shot right before the pandemic, Divine, Lost Love, and before that, Inconvenient Mistress and Aftermath. I get a lot of recognition from those movies. And by recognition, I mean like people coming up to me in public talking to me about those movies. Um, I mean, I can look back and think of the orgy scene in 2040, the orgy scene in Speed, um, the orgy in the first Fallen, the orgy in the second Fallen, the orgy in Rocky Horror. Um, I'm starting to see a trend here, right? I really like all the group scenes that I've shot. Um, Hi, Jessica. I'm not going to say your name to protect your anonymity, but these are folks who are wondering about my Wicked necklace. Is it available for purchase? That's a no. You gotta earn these. So, no. I've been asked that so many times, though. Hi, JD. Hope to see you back in action soon. Can you give us a hint of any new stuff you're considering? Bondage, cuckolding, pegging, etc., etc. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all might know I am kinky. I am into BDSM. So that's going to be a hard yes for me. Cuckolding, I think, is super hot. Pegging, I've definitely pegged guys before. It is something that I'm open to as long as they're really into it. You know, I don't like doing things to people or with people or for people if they're not really into it. So I need that enthusiastic fuck yeah. Um, what's your favorite outfit or style? I wear a lot of black, and these days I wear like black bodysuits, black leggings, black hoodies, because it's all the stuff that we're wearing, right? Like we're not going out. Um, but my go-to outfit once things open back up and we can go out, tiny sparkly dresses and really, really high heels. I think that's my ultimate favorite outfit. Like no panties underneath, um, just tiny little dress and super tall heels. What's one of the first things you'll do after COVID? Go out. Eat in restaurants. Like I miss long dinners with people. I miss sharing entrees and tasting each other's drinks and sharing desserts and just sitting around a huge table of people talking and eating and just enjoying everyone's company. Um, Travel, it's another massive thing. I've never gone so long in my adult life without traveling. The last time I was on a plane was days before the pandemic started. Um, and of course, you know, I got off that flight not knowing that everything was about to come to a screeching halt. I think about that last flight a lot. Um, Being a Wicked contract performer has definitely afforded me the opportunity to travel to places I never would have visited otherwise. And in a way, it kind of created a monster because I've got like 28 countries now under my belt, so to speak. Um, and I was really, this past year and the year that we're in now, I was really looking to expand that list. So definitely some more traveling is happening. Um, Another thing I'll be doing is getting my naked ass up on a stage in your face and in your lap because I miss dancing so much. Like performing is so much a part of who I am that, I mean, this is great. Like, I can jump on OnlyFans, or I can come here and do solo stuff or talk to y'all or do a Q&A, but like performing, I really, really miss it. So those are all of the things that I'll do once this eases up a bit. Will you do another movie with Natasha Dreams? Oh, fuck yes. Ever hooked up with a fan? Indeed, I have. Inadvertently, and more than once. All I ask is that you're super respectful. That's the key. That's like the key to getting in. Award you're proudest of. Yeah, you know, it's really tough. I've been in this business for quite a while, and I've really won a lot of awards. Um, it's hard for me to pick one that I'm the most proud of, because for me, winning awards have also marked different milestones in my career. So, for instance, I've won 3 awards from AVN for Best Actress. I don't think that's ever been done before. Some maybe getting close. I've also won, when I won Community Figure from XBiz, that was a really big deal to me. Winning Sexpert of the Year from XBiz was also a big deal. The first award that I won from a sexuality conference called Catalyst, that was huge because that was the first time I had been recognized as a sex educator. Last year, even during the pandemic, I won an award that I share with Joan Price, who was my co-collaborator for Jessica Drake's Guide to Wicked Sex Senior Sex Edition. Joan was my senior, and we won an award from ASECT, which is a massive organization that has nothing to do with the adult industry. It's the American Association of Sexuality Therapists and Counselors, and it's a big deal. And to my knowledge, it's the first time that they awarded an explicit film the Best Audiovisual Award. So that's massive. And again, it marks another milestone in my career. So awards have always made me feel like all of the hard work that I've put into this being not just a job, right? Like, not just something I go show up to and then leave and go home, but like, it really has been such a massive career for me and such a huge investment of my time and my effort, and I've made a lot of sacrifices to be where I am today. So awards are nice. And also, they're not everything. Fan appreciation is incredibly important as well. Where do I sign up for a lap dance? Go to my OnlyFans. Clubs are starting to ask when they can book me, and I think that's a really good sign. No, I have not taken a booking yet. No, I don't have a date for y'all yet. But keep on talking to me through my OnlyFans, and I promise you that I'm going to keep y'all posted. And if for some reason you're looking at this right now and you are not on my OnlyFans, I find that very hard to believe, number one. But also go check it out. It's onlyfans.com/Jessica Drake. Oh, favorite position. This is a great question, and I feel like I've answered it a million times. Favorite position on camera is standing doggy, right leg up. Favorite position off camera is anything where I am completely covered. So like missionary, or like a tight side spoon, or a doggy where I'm completely flat on the bed. Like, I like really close positions that are good for heavy breathing and like fighting. Why don't we get more BTS? Right now you're not getting BTS because we're not shooting. But before, when we used to put movies out on like multi-DVD disc sets, we would have a designated DVD just for extras and behind the scenes and stuff like that. So obviously we're not doing that anymore, but we are also aware that BTS is something that y'all really like a lot. So moving forward, I will do my best to include more behind the scenes because I think that it is a really revealing thing to have access to. And I think that when we're talking about the concern surrounding like ethical porn and how do you know the performers are really happy, and how do you know what really goes on a set and what companies are best to support. I think when you have behind the scenes, it can be really insightful. So yeah, if you have questions about a company, like check out the BTS. What do you like to do for fun? Fuck, it's been so long. I really don't know anymore. So before, for fun, I would, like, if it was fun, like I needed to go out and blow off steam, I would go out, have a nice dinner, go to a club, have a lot drinks, shake my ass in a tiny dress, hook up, like just like blow off steam, like just have one of those nights. Not very often, but like when I do it well. Travel, it's one of my favorite things to do for fun, like travel, try new things, meet new people, have new experiences, get out of any rut that I might be stuck in. And right now, like things that I do for fun are more like things that I'm doing to survive. Honestly, like I'm struggling. We're all experiencing a global pandemic. It's like trauma on a massive scale. So I am trying to do things that are solely for fun. Um, Trying to see the beach more, trying to be outside in nature more. Um, yeah, I mean it's a challenge. I can't wait to be able to do more of the things I love, and I cannot wait to create. I can't wait to perform. I can't wait to see y'all in person, whether it's at a strip club or at a convention or at an appearance or at a workshop or like a class that I'm teaching or any of the things. Like that is something that I usually do for fun that I haven't been able to do in a really long time. And I just want you to know, like, I miss y'all so much. I really do. And I think soon some things are going to change. And I think that we will start shooting more. I will be more comfortable. And this deal with Gamma and Wicked will really get moving, and we will be able to deliver you the high quality adult content that you've come to know and love and expect, and of course deserve from Wicked. So thank you for all your absolutely amazing questions. I look forward to next time. And now, if you're not a member, now would be a really great opportunity to sign up and be a member of Wicked.com so you can catch up on all of my hardcore scenes so that you can be ready for the new stuff. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Mwah. See you next time. Does this count as behind the scenes if I just haven't hit the stop button yet? I'll give you a little behind the scenes. So I set all of this up. You can't see, but there's like lights all around, and got everything ready to go and positioned myself just right and did a test and all the things. And I started to do this whole Q&A, and it took me a super long time, and I finished it, and then I went to go and watch it, and for some reason my phone stopped recording at about the 14-minute mark. So if you noticed a cut at around, I don't know, 12, 14 minutes, something like that, that's why. And then I had to go through all of the questions and do them over again. So That's some BTS for ya. And your questions were super good. Some of them were a little hard, but generally super good questions. All right. Goodbye for real this time. I got shit to do. Love y'all. Miss y'all. See you soon. Only on Wicked.com.